The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. 500 health workers from Makati are set to receive Pfizer vaccines today. Greg Gregorio is joining us live from the Makati Medical Center to give us the latest on this. Greg, good afternoon. Could you tell us how many doses of Pfizer vaccines the city government was able to receive?
Charles, first to clarify, according to the Makati City LGU, 500 individuals from across A1 to A3 priority sector of the government's vaccination program are receiving their first dose of Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine here in the city today. And according to the LGU, they have received 5,800 doses of Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. Charles?
This is great news, of course, Greg, but then could you tell us how many people have actually registered to receive these Pfizer vaccines?
Charles, according to Dr. Roy Unson, Chief of the City Health Office, the registration is not specific to a certain brand of COVID-19 vaccine. And from more than 100,000 registered vaccinees here in the city, 500 are expected to be inoculated with Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine today. But with their allotment of Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, they will be able to vaccinate 2,900 individuals with this vaccine, as their allotment is for the first and second dose. Charles?
Greg, for this specific vaccine brand, as we know, there are certain storage requirements that are not conventional. How do authorities intend to ensure that this vaccine, the vials, are not going to get spoiled?
Charles, according to Dr. Unson again of the City Health Office, when the COVID-19 vaccine of Pfizer is in a frozen state, it would need -80 to -80 cold storage requirement. But when it's thawed or on a liquefied form of the vaccine, it will only need 2 to 8 degrees Celsius of cold storage. And in that temperature, a vaccine may remain for up to 5 days. According to Dr. Unson, the vaccine wastage is not an issue because they are confident that they will be able to utilize all of these doses allotted to them even before the timeline for each thawed vaccine, and they have enough registered vaccinees for these vaccines. Charles?
Talking about confidence, Greg, how is the vaccine confidence of the Makati residents? We're talking about cases of vaccine envy. Could you tell us more about this?
Plus, we've talked to one individual who received her first dose of Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. She told us that some of her workers are kind of envious that she received Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine today, as compared to her workers who got their shots even prior to her, because her workers received other brands, and they believe that Pfizer is the one that is better among the available vaccines. And we've also talked to another individual, and he said that he prefers the Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, as he never heard any bad issues about these vaccines from the news even before this date. Charles?
I think there is some basis for this envy. How many people exactly in the city of Makati have been vaccinated across all brands?
Charles, according to the City Health Office, around 55,000 individuals have received their first dose and second dose of COVID-19 vaccines as of today. But most of this, around 44,000, are individuals who got their first shot of COVID-19 vaccine. Charles?
Thanks for that, Greg. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Makati. Pfizer vaccines have arrived in Manila as of last night. About 1,170 vials of Pfizer vaccines were brought to the Santa Ana Hospital at around 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday. This is equivalent to over 7,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines. However, Manila Mayor Moreno is lamenting the, quote, super slow vaccine distribution. Moreno said that even if the national government received 1 million doses of Sinovac vaccines back in April, the capital only got 8,400 doses. And he added that they have yet to receive more doses, despite the arrival of another 1.5 million doses of the Chinese vaccine. Moreno also said that vaccines should not be in storage for long, especially since it's believed to be the key to economic recovery. The government is aiming to inoculate at least 25 million Filipinos by December in a bid to provide Filipinos a better Christmas this year. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. says the 25 million would come from the country's most vulnerable sectors. And those are healthcare workers, senior citizens, and people with comorbidities. Galvez reiterated that vaccination of these priority groups can help the entire country contain COVID-19 fatalities. The official also said that the government's high target for herd immunity is vaccination of 70 million people by November, while the low target is to inoculate at least 58 million Filipinos by the third quarter. An expert from Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security predicts an initial surge in the number of adolescents in the U.S. looking to receive the Pfizer COVID-19 shot. This as U.S. regulators approve the use of the Pfizer vaccine for kids aged 12 to 15. Johns Hopkins senior scholar Dr. Amesh Adalja said many parents in the U.S. will want their kids to get the Pfizer shot immediately to speed up the reopening of schools and the resumption of other extracurricular activities. However, the expert warns that after the initial surge of demand from those who recognize the value of the vaccine, the U.S. CDC might encounter problems in convincing parents from the general population that the shot is effective. Adalja is now calling on health experts in the U.S. to make improvements in its messaging around vaccinations.
Many people want that age group of 12 to 15 vaccinated to be able to facilitate summer camps, to be able to facilitate extracurricular activities at schools, and to remove, one more obstacle that some school boards have put in the way of opening schools full time. So I do think that this is going to be something that you're going to see an initial demand, and then I think we'll get to that kind of point where we have to start talking to people about what the benefits of the vaccine are for their child.
Here in the Philippines, a DOH advisor says the choice to allow Pfizer vaccinations among adolescents remains with the FDA. Speaking with Radyo 5 Ted Filon, Dr. Edsel Salvania said health officials can include the age group in the allowed recipients of the vaccine. But he clarified that for now, the initial supply of Pfizer shots are allocated for priority groups.
Yung dito po sa atin, that's up to the FDA, pag-aaralan po nila yan, and pwede naman nilang i-update yung kanilang emergency use authorization.
Okay.
The city of San Juan is also kicking off its first round of Pfizer vaccinations today. This as the LGU received almost 12,000 doses of the COVAX donated jab. Let's get more details from JC Cosico. He is reporting live from San Juan. JC, good afternoon. How many people are expected to receive their Pfizer shot today?
Charles, up to 500 residents of San Juan are expected to receive Pfizer jabs today. Now, these will come from the A1 to A3 sectors. Charles.
JC, could you tell us more about the storage facilities there in San Juan? As we know, Pfizer requires an ultra-low temperature for its storage requirement.
Charles, Mayor Zamora said that they rented ultra-low freezers for the storage of Pfizer vaccines. Now, they don't actually see the need to procure one, as this won't be practical, knowing that they won't be able to use these freezers soon as they finish their vaccination. Charles.
JC, are there any other vaccine brands that are also available today there in San Juan aside from Pfizer? And how many vaccines do they intend to give out today?
Charles, Mayor Zamora said that this afternoon they will also administer AstraZeneca vaccines and Sinovac vaccines. Now, they expect over 1,000 vaccinees for today. Charles.
So what is the LGU's target in order to achieve herd immunity there in San Juan, given these numbers?
Charles, Mayor Zamora said that they are targeting to vaccinate 85,000 residents to achieve herd immunity. Now, this will still depend on the arrival of more vaccine supplies. Charles.
Right, so where exactly is the city holding most of its vaccinations, and are local authorities looking to open more vaccination sites?
Charles Mayor Zamora said that here at the Field Oil Flying V Center is their main vaccination site. Now they are targeting, or they are planning to open more vaccination sites, again depending on the arrival of more vaccine supplies. And in fact, they have talked with a mall as they are eyeing this to be, or to become one of their vaccination sites in the city, again depending on the arrival of more jabs. Charles.
JC, as more and more people are getting vaccinated, are we also hearing reports of more adverse effects from inoculations there in San Juan?
Charles Mayor Zamora said that when they began the inoculation, they have no reported any major adverse effects following immunization. But here in this vaccination site, they prepared a room so that they can monitor those individuals after vaccination itself. Charles.
And lots of seats there behind you. I'm sure the LGU there at San Juan is quite ready and raring to go with these vaccinations. But then could you tell us about the general COVID-19 situation over there in San Juan? How are things?
Charles Mayor Zamora said that they have noticed a decrease in terms of their active COVID-19 cases. In fact, as of yesterday, they have 268 cases compared from over 1,000 last month. Their hospital's occupancy rate is now at 46%, while their quarantine sites occupancy rate is at 20 to 25%. All these are a result of the ECQ and MECQ imposed. Charles.
Thanks for those updates, JC. That was JC Cosico reporting live from San Juan. The Miss Universe fever is on. Miss Universe Philippines Rabia Mateo continues to impress even the pageant's mentors. The competition's Philam skincare partner, Olivia Kido, sang praises for the Filipino candidate. As she says, Rabia is not just smart and beautiful, but also full of determination to win the crown for the country.
Ang na-realize ko kay Rabia, yung heart niya para sa Pilipino. I think yun yung unang-unang impression na natanggap ko, because when I speak, yung parang when we had the conversation na, o kamusta Rabia, anong pakiramdam mo? Sabi niya, ayoko ma-disappoint ang mga Pilipino. So I think yun agad ang nalagay sa heart ko na gagawin niya to para laban sa mga Pilipino.
Thing to do if you still want to be entertained.
Well, just a few days before the coronation night, Miss Universe candidates from Ireland, the Netherlands, Jamaica, and Curacao opened up about their mental health concerns. Let's listen to what they had to say.
Embrace who you are. I had an eating disorder and I recovered, but sometimes I have bad days, like I'm feeling bad about my body or something. But I want to share that.
Even though it was hard for me to admit that I had as well bad days, especially the bad days, you just want to hide it because you feel the pressure a little bit to be perfect. And that's what I struggled with in the beginning. But now I know the bad days are still days that I have autism, just like the good days. And it doesn't define me. My condition doesn't mean I am that condition and nothing else.
Sometimes social media can be difficult. There are harsh comments. There is bullying online sometimes. And I think for me, an important thing that I had to do was to find a protocol for dealing with that and for coping with that. So for me, like, I don't go and I don't look for negative comments. I refuse to do that. If I see something that I think is going to be negative, I don't read it. Because I know I don't need to take it in.
You will have the best life experience, I believe, if you just embrace who you are. Because no one in this world will ever be better at being you than you. And you will never feel happier than when you are being yourself.
And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.